Yeah, that's better. You can get it. Marvelous.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the channel, y'all. And look, over this past weekend we had 4 crazy regionals taking place. All of them had crazy amount of coverage except for one, and that is the Greece regional.
Grease me up, woman!
Yes, you heard me right. The Greece regional damn near didn't even have a stream, and niggas didn't even put out deck lists. I had to dig. I mean, you'd think I was over here mining for gold for how hard it was to try to find all of these deck lists. But, you know, higher level thinkers, you know, just being a delinquent, spinning the block.
Spin.
We always come through for the streets, and I end up, you know, compiling 10 to 12 crazy shiest ass lists for the streets from the Greece regional that happened over this past weekend. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the content, gang. Let's get it. As you guys can see, all these lists are kind of scattered all over the place. Let's just start off at the bottom and work our way up. So this is a top 8 deck list. I'm not sure if it's 7th, 6th, or 8th, but it doesn't matter. Top 8 is top 8. Let's see what we got here. It's actually Purple Luffy Greece regional over this past weekend. It is a Purple Luffy top 8 deck list. Before we even start, I don't have 1 through 7, 1 through 8. I have deck lists all the way from 1 to you know, 32nd place, on top of the first place event that everybody's been going crazy about over the internet and the streets on Twitter. So let's go ahead and start off with this Purple Luffy. Luffy doing work. I feel kind of bad for this particular deck because once GP Luffy comes around, this thing's going to be taking the bench, collecting dust and water bottles for everybody else that's in the meta.
Stop! He's already dead.
Fact, that opinion, when we just look at this Pluffy, this looks like a very standard build. Actually, it doesn't. I usually don't see too many Pluffys actually running this 4/7 drop kid that boosts up 1,000 power on your leader. I'm not really too sure why he, you know, really truly went into this particular tech, but I feel like this will be more of a tech spot for GP Luffy, just because GP Luffy, if he does get off the pudding, it always has a 6,000 power. So I'm not sure why he's running this soon, but I mean, it's a crazy tech. He got top 8, so clearly it's working. The bread and butter of this particular deck is really this Sangaro. If you have this on field and this thing can resolve 3 or 4 times, more likely you're always going to win. You end off games with this Monkey D Luffy right here. You have some life replenished with this Charlotte. He's actually only opting out for 2 instead of 3, 2 or 3 depending on, you know, how your guys' flex spots are. It always works, but you always want to be running at least 2 or 3 just to be able to get a life back so you guys can keep abusing the ramping right here. You also close out games with the Sanji, running it at 3, some blockers with the Sanji right here, and you could never go wrong with the Luffy Toro Sangaro combo or Luffy Toro, you know, anything with just with a 5 drop. So Luffy Toro into Sangaro, Sanjoro right here. I said Sangaro, Sanjoro, whatever the hell. Like you guys know, we're always butchering shit. It doesn't matter. And he's also actually opting out for the Trafalgar D-Log. I've been looking at a lot of Luffy lists out there in the streets, and this particular deck doesn't really use this particular card. So a very different based ass list from our top 8 finish for Greece. Don't ask me what the name of the person at top. I actually have no clue. I'm just showing you guys the list. So if you guys did top in Greece and, you know, I'm actually showing off one of your decks, just go ahead and let me know. But that was the top 8. A top 8 deck profile for Greece. We actually have a top 64 list that was posted. It is actually Reiju. Okay, this particular deck actually bubbled out. If he had a little bit better matches when it comes to his win-loss ratio, this deck could have made top 32. Fact, not an opinion. If you guys did not know, this is probably one of the most hardest decks in the whole entire game to play, on top of the fact that this is also one of the better combo decks in the game to play. Me personally speaking, the only thing different in this deck really does look like a you know, a cookie cutter type of version of Invincible Reiju. Let's see, is this Gamma Knife. He's actually running 3 Gamma Knife, very shice. I think this is just for green decks being able to get over the kids, my personal opinion. He does have the Red Rock for some blanket board removal. He's also only running one German 66, but I've been seeing a lot of Reggie players only opt out for one. You can never go wrong with one of the most crazy cracked out version cards in the game in Black Maria, and then also just, you know, spinning the block with this EGG. This is your staple and glue of this particular deck, is the EGG, and really just the Rage Heals, just really abusing these two every turn if you can. The only other thing that I see that's different, he's actually not running no judges. He's actually running the 1K, so he can get some draw you know, capabilities, and he's also running this thing, Cassette. I never even seen this before. Let's go ahead and read it. If your leader has the Germa 66 type in your board as 2 or more done, let's say your opponent, this character gains blocks. So this is pretty much a crazy blocker. It's only a 1K blocker. I'm not sure why you guys are running this. I've been seeing a lot of decks just run one. If you guys can tell me below why Rage players are running this, I would greatly appreciate the time you guys are spending to put that comment. You know, pretty much helping everybody else. You know me, we only play ﷺuffy, so you know, if you guys could help other players, you know, letting us know why they're using special techs such as this, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get straight into the next deck, which is a top 4 from the Greece regional, and it is Blue Doflamingo. We're gonna go over every single one of these cards so you guys can see what he's running, but as you guys can see, just like last format, there is actually nothing truly changed from this deck. The only thing I really see different in this particular Dofi list is this 7-drop Doflamingo will turn up to 1 character with a cost of 7 or less to the owner's hand. Just what I've been noticing too is that ever since Jinbei did get hit, they're playing more of a control version of this deck, and they're also adding a lot of bigger body characters such as this Doflamingo or the Kaidos. But outside of that, this deck is pretty much solved, cookie cutter type of deck, and it got top 4 at Greece. Apparently Doflamingo is still spinning the block, fact, not an opinion. So let's go over another deck, which is a top 32 deck that we do have, is another Blue Doflamingo. And as you guys can see, this is pretty much a same type of deck we just went over. The ratio is just a little bit different, especially with like the 2 Crocodile, 3 Gum Giant, the 3 Buggies. I mean, it's just really all ratios. But the only other card that I do see that's a little bit different is he's actually playing the Gravity Blade to remove any characters with a 6 cost or less. I'm not sure what, maybe this is probably good against like lower end characters such as like Zoro, or decks like Zoro, something like that, to bottom deck the choppers. And then on top of that, he is opting out to run the 10-drop Kaido, 2 of them, just being able to have some more draw, you know, hand capabilities compared to his opponent. Outside of that, this is the same exact deck that you guys already know, Blue Doflamingo, just you know, still being the boring deck that we've been seeing for the past 8 months. Yeah, here it is, 32. So this is another deck that did get top 32. They did not say the placing, so that's the reason why it's 32.2. I'm not sure what the ranking or placement is, so I'm not going to tell you guys. Let's go over every single one of these cards. And Blackbeard is pretty much solved. If you guys don't know anything about Blackbeard, if you guys are coming from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Blackbeard is pretty much a walking skill drain, fact, not an opinion. It's a walking floodgate, and if you come from any other card games with floodgates, this leader will always be meta relevant, fact, not an opinion. As long as this leader will be in the game, this is always a deck you always need to think and build around. And the only other difference I really see in this deck compared to all the other Blackbeard decks we went over yesterday is he's actually only running 3 of the Liberation. He's actually only running this version of Liberation. He isn't running the other one. He's running 2 Lafits. You know, I've been seeing people change these ratios from 2 to 4. Let me know below if you guys are a Blackbeard player, what you guys been liking the most. And he's also running the 2 Laboons. I feel like Laboon's always a shiest-ass card in this particular deck because it has some cost reduction, some blanket cost reduction, and you could never go wrong with this particular card. Just because you guys can do -4 and then a finger pistol, you pretty much getting rid of anything with a 9 cost or less, which is very crazy. Have some more board removal and draws with Doc Q. Only 3 Van Augers as well. And a lot of people are really starting to really abuse this Shearer combo. Everybody's that been playing Blackbeard, I've really been seeing a lot of people on this Shearer combo here. But outside of that, everything kind of looks the same. You still got the Kuzan, abusing the Kuzan and the Burgers to end off games, and also the Marshall D Teach as well. So yeah, this is Blackbeard. Congratulations to you. And that was our other version of our top top 32 deck here. So let's go ahead and go straight over to our top 16 deck here. It is actually kids. Like I said earlier, I actually forgot every single deck we're actually featuring. We're talking on the fly like we usually do, but kid actually getting top 16 at the Greece regional. Let's just go over every single one of these cards and just taking a glance. This is another burn version of this deck, and it's literally playing kid as it should be played, and that's the reason why you see the Cavendish, just so you know this particular leader can give this blocker, and then you could always also abuse the blocker trash ability from life with this Basil Hawkins as well. Only running the 3 kids, you know, let's, I mean 3 or 4 I guess is a nice tech, you know, flex spot there. He's running the 3 kid and also the 3 Nico Robin for some life burn, so this is a heavy life burn deck, having some life replenish and also just being able to give this blocker through useless kid being a supernova. Very nice. He's actually going out with the Eldoric, definitely an interesting tech for our user, our yellow user here. I don't really see anybody playing the Eldor, but I guess this is a very good option if you guys just want to have some more counter power in your whole entire deck. And when we look at the top row here, we got some, you know, staple yellow good stuff. That's pretty much what it is, fact, not an opinion. I mean, this is the type of shit you present to the girl, the bad bitch in your class, and you show them the top regular yellow shit. You already know pennies is going in the air.
Oh yeah.
Later on tonight, fact, not an opinion. So we got this Nami here for some board removal, life replenish, and also this is what you truly end off games with, is this Portuguese ace. You could never go wrong with this Frankie running 3, and also if you only have 1 life, you get to summon this and get a draw. Crazy utility out of this card, and this is some board removal as well, especially if you go first. You always kill anything pretty much on your 3rd turn if you do go first. That now is actually another crazy tech spot here. I usually never see kid play an L, but I feel like a lot of people are starting to play more an L just for a little bit more pressure. This list is definitely different compared to the standard yellow list that we are seeing, just because he's also playing the Capone Beige as well and the Euro. So these 2 cards are really just for the leader ability, and everything else is just yellow good stuff. So if you guys are a kid player, this list definitely looks crazy. Oh yeah, one more thing. He's actually running the X-Drake. You guys always wonder what X-Drake does. This is for your Blackbeard matchup, just being able to rest the Burgess if he does summon it. Very crazy as type of card. So outside of that, crazy ass useless kid good stuff. That's pretty much what it is. Definitely a different list, especially with the, you know, nails and also the ace. You never usually truly see that. So this ended up topping. Go ahead and try it out if you guys are a fan. So we do have a top 36. Oh no, this actually came in 36th place, and this is a fraud sub. He actually did show up. I don't know who gave him the ticket to you know, the top 64 tables, but I think he probably, I know it is, he stole someone's ticket. That's the only, that has to be the only answer how he got 36th place. I have no clue how he even got here, but nonetheless, let's go over every single one of these cards. Like I said earlier, I feel like this is probably the biggest fraud version of a deck we ever seen in our life, just because it's high tempo. I mean, if you guys end up using this particular card 1 turn, you really get far behind if the opponent is really aggroing you down, and right now is the aggro meta. Another card do I really see that I never see actually in a deck is this Monkey D. Luffy. If you guys probably don't even know what it does, so let's go ahead and read it to you guys real quick. Once per turn, this character cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effect. So if you guys are playing against this deck, make sure if they do summon this thing cannot get KO'd. So make sure you take note of that. And then when attacking, you may place 3 cards from the trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. Then if your opponent has 5 or more cards in the hand, your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand. So this pretty much allows you to really end off the game. This is a game ending type of card, because if you end up trashing 1 card from their hand, it could possibly be a 2K if they only have counter in their hand, and this could really just, you know, turn the tides, on top of it being an extra counter as well. That's the only thing I really see different. You still got the Blanket Rebecca Kairos combo, and this is the staple and glue of this particular deck is this Cavendish. The biggest thing about this deck is that it can brick sometimes as well, so you guys always want to establish this body on board, because when you attack, you could always draw 2 trash when pretty much recycling your hand out. And he's actually opting out for at least 1 Monkey D. Luffy right here. This is a game-ending card, fact not opinion. He's also running the Gum King Kong, and the biggest thing about this deck is that if this deck does not see stage, it almost kind of auto loses. Actually crazy. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of this deck. Only running 2 one-legged soldiers and also 4 one-of those. Me personally, I'll put the 3-3 split, to be honest with you, because this card's an extra 2k cost reduction as well. So, you know, that's just my opinion. I would probably do the 3-3 split, but he did get 36th place. Congratulations to you. Let's go to get straight to our next deck, which is the second place. So this deck right here came in second place here, which is Blue Doflamingo. We're gonna go over every single one of these cards, but I already talked about this card briefly already. We're not gonna waste any more time, and quite honestly speaking, this has to be one of the most cookie cutter versions of a deck I've ever seen. Only card that's really different in this deck is this blocker. Just being able to cheat it out just because it's the 7 Warlords of the Sea. And yeah, that's pretty much it that we have for this Dofi deck, man. I really don't want to waste too much time repeating myself over and over again like you guys are 10 years old. I mean, we had shit to do and bitches to get, you know, okay? Okay, let's go to get straight to it. The next deck we have right here is RP Luffy coming in 29th place. Let's go over every single one of these cards. And the biggest thing I'm gonna ask you guys about this particular deck, do you guys think this deck is a top 10 deck in the OP10 meta? I asked that in my stream a couple of you know, the last stream we did do on the channel, and you know, we had a lot. It was literally almost 50-50. I actually want you guys to tell me, you guys think this is the top 10 deck? Outside of that, let's just go ahead and break down the deck. He's actually running the 4 Bond Clays, so I mean, you're only running this deck if you have a big bag, fact, not an opinion. He's actually running the 4 Useless Kid, just be able to boost up your leaders attack to 7,000, which a lot of decks struggle against. The 3 queens, so these are the queen, and also is he also running the kid? He's actually not running the kid. He's actually opting out for the Sanji instead for his blockers. These are his 2 defense cards right here, just for blockers. Ending off games, the Usopp right here. Nami's always a staple. He's actually going out with the Rad Beam as well. And look, as a red player, if I play red, I'll always play at least one or 2 of these cards. Very good utility. He's playing 4 Sorrel Juro, very shy in my personal opinion. 2 Shanks, just be able to apply some pressures, and always just having a 10 drop in your deck. Having a Charlotte Linen at 4 is very important as well, just being able to replenish life while having some steady board removal of a 6 cost or less. And he also does have this Monkey Doofy to apply some pressure. And then the biggest thing about this deck, for what I've been seeing, is that the Gum Gum Giant, always abusing Gum Gum Giant. The Yasop is a crazy tech as well. Don't really see too many decks RP Luffy's playing this, but the biggest one is this Reset Luffy. I've been seeing a lot of players cut this card for RP Luffy, but this guy said fuck the meta sheet. We're doing what we want to do because his drip's too hard, his bitch is too bad, and his weed is too strong. Fact, not an opinion. Can I get an amen in the chat? Give me an amen in the chat. Someone just put amen in the comments for all our VOD viewers, okay? But he's actually going out for the Reset Luffy, just being able to, you know, pretty much just reset the game. This is usually your game ending card though, to be honest with you. But outside of that, RP Luffy doing his thing. And let me know below, do you guys personally think this is a top 10 deck? The streets want to know. The streets is clamoring. Yes, some say no. I really want to know what our community, the delinquents, the higher level thinkers, the bad bitch getters pretty much are thinking, okay? So let's go ahead and look at our first place. So this particular deck I'm gonna show you guys got first place at a side event, but this is one of those main decks that everybody's talking about because they can't believe it topped. Pause the goddamn video right now and tell me what you guys think it is. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, my fingers, look, my index finger can't hold out any longer. Let's go ahead and press it. What is it? It's actually Whitebeard. Actually insane Whitebeard. Actually got first place at an event. Look, side event. Whitebeard, you guys probably had no clue this is what the deck I was going to show you. You guys think it's OP01 to OP03, right? Let's go over every single one of these cards. Whitebeard, look, a lot of people remember what this deck does, but everybody has been asking me, I want a Shiest Whitebeard deck. I just really want a, you know, a good skeleton to really use. So let's go ahead and break down this deck here real quick. For starters, if you guys don't even know what Whitebeard does, because you guys are, you know, you guys are a Christmas baby starting the fucking TCG, let's go ahead and read it. End of your turn, add 1 card from the top of your life to your hand. Very simple effect. The only reason why you don't really see this deck too much is Blue Dofi's been around, and Blue Dofi kind of fucks Edward Newgate's bitch with pudding, so that's the reason why. If this deck doesn't see pudding, more than likely it's going to be spinning the block. It had a good matchup in a blue-black Sakazuki as well, so this deck can still compete. We're actually running the 4 Sanji. Why not? One of the best red staples going into OP10, ending off games with this Monkey D. Luffy just having a non-blockable type of attack, getting rid of all the blockers on the board without really doing anything, just on summon with a rush, having some crazy Portuguese Ace synergy with the Whitebeard Pirates. And once you guys get this card on the field, since black isn't really doing too much right now, this card is very difficult to remove. And also, if you just attach one Dawn, you're attacking at 7, ripping 2 cards from the opponent's hand. You're also playing this Sanji, just pretty much boosting up any Straw Hat type of character, and also applying the same exact effect as this. I mean, the opponent can't block. Very crazy. You're actually running 3 because it is also a 2K, so the utility out of this card is actually insane. He's actually running the Monkey D. Luffy. I'm gonna be real with y'all, this actually looks like a crazy rush version of Whitebeard I've never seen before. So this is a crazy aggro version. Very nice, in my personal opinion. You got the Luffy, you got the Zoro, because after this thing ends up getting popped, you get to summon a 5,000 character or lower, which means you could summon this or Zoro, or you know, any of these other cards. You have the Dragon to clear out games, Rad Beams for some defense, and that's the biggest thing. You guys are running a couple of counters, but this is your main defenses right here. This Rad Beam right here, and also with the Bad Manners. He's also running 2 Divine Parchers, very crazy as well. 1 type of board removal with this Gum Mole tied in with the Utama right here. Otama, I say Utama, Otama. You got the Nami for some searching capabilities, Zoro for some pressure, you know, Ace for some pressure. Activate main, can never go wrong with Makino. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of this deck. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. I already broke down this deck, but yeah, this deck has actually done something in the meta. This deck is really shice if you don't see any blue decks with pudding. This is pretty much its only weakness is pudding, and outside of that, yeah, that's all I got, gang. That's all I truly got. I feel bad for everybody that picked up this leader, because you guys are also on a time ticking bomb, to be honest with you guys. It is from block 1. So let's go ahead and get straight to the first place winning. So this particular deck I'm about to show you actually won the whole entire Greece regional. It is our last deck. It is our Green Smoker. I mean, I told you guys our Green Smokers stocks are really gonna go up, because like I told you guys earlier, EBO2 is getting ready to come out in literally 2 or 3 weeks, to be honest with you. You guys are it's dropping May 9th, and once GP Luffy comes here, this becomes an S tier deck, and this is a fact, not an opinion, because this has a very good matchup into everything in the meta, and especially GP Luffy. When GP Luffy does come here, GP Luffy wipes the board. The only thing that really contends is really this deck, in my personal opinion, since black isn't really nowhere to be found. People may say Lucci, but until we actually have a crazy Lucci list, this deck is still going to be probably the second best deck moving forward in EBO2. Let's go over and break down this deck real quick. He's actually running the 4 Kid, just being able to lock down and set up a wall, the Great Wall of China, and this is actually one of the best decks that actually abuses this kid as well. And he's also running the Doflamingo, just bird caging 3 things on the board. Very crazy. You could never go wrong with the Tashigi, the Smoker Tashigi combo. This is a staple. This is the staple glue of the deck. Ideally, you guys always want to try to drop this Smoker on the board as soon as possible, because if you guys can just, you know, resolve one of these every single turn, you're going to be getting 3 down back with the leader ability and this Smoker, which is actually insane, with some blanket protection with the Tashigi. Very, very shice. We also clean out games with this Hody Jones. Watch out for this if you guys are playing against this. Having some board protection for anything that's rested. So if you guys have this on the field with this, your kid's pretty much always going to be staying on the board. Having some searching capabilities with the Baby 5, and he's actually playing this version of Baby 5 as well. You guys probably don't even see what it does. We'll pause the goddamn video if you guys want to have a deep dive and see what it does, but it shouldn't take you that long. There's only 2 lines of text to read, so go ahead and tap into that. The next card we got right here is this Carrot, opting out for 3. Can't go wrong with this as well. Having the blocker with the Tony Chopper, some board removal with the Ben Beckman. I feel like this is probably one of the best board removal cards in the game, well, without a doubt, just because it trashes instead of KOing. And then outside of that, we got 2 of this event. We got 1 mole gun, and we also have 1 whoever wins this war becomes justice. So look, this is all of the deck lists that I've been able to find for Greece. What I'm going to do right now is this. If you guys do have more deck lists from this particular event, put it in the comments. and we get like 4 or 5, we start getting a lot of people coming to the video from Greece putting their deck list, I will actually make a comment and have a whole like fucking list of decks that wasn't featured in this video. Like I said, this video is for the streets, this video is for the higher level thinkers, this video is for the based as delinquents that get that bread. You get what I'm saying, man? Look, this is all I got. Tell me what you guys think below of the Greece regional breakdown. Hey, look, my bad I wasn't able to get the official top 8, but I feel like this is a little bit more fun to see you know, decks all over the place instead of the top 8, because usually in the top 8 you see nothing but the somewhat same deck. So, you know, I'm glad to bring you guys all the decks I was able to bring. That's all I got. Let me know below what you guys think of the video. Yeah, I'll see you guys. Actually, we have one more video. We actually have one more cheating video getting ready to come out in a couple hours as well, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's all I got. But look, before I go, if you was feeling the vibes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It up.